Welcome to our presentation for Assignment 2. This video will explore the main case study for ISYS2423's Assignment 2, which is titled Ultranet and its Aftermath, an ICT Governance Saga. Using this case study, we will recognise the common ramifications of inadequate ICT governance that is reflected within the IT projects undertaken by the Department of Education and government sections in the passing decade. Our speakers today are our team members consisting of Gabriel, Zedong and myself, Aishanur. We will take you through the identified ICT problems, our recommended solutions and implementation of solutions throughout this presentation. Let's start off with the governance issues that surfaced in these ICT applications and how they ultimately led to the failure of the IT project, Ultranet. The result of Department of Education's poor governance could be seen in their lack of compliance with mandatory frameworks, such as the Gateway Review process, as more than 60% of the Gateway Review recommendations were not addressed. Having no transparency in the department, as there were no clear definition for the quality, cost or duration of the entire project, and instead had inadequate business cases. The department's lack of accountability with the delivery of the project, as it was delivered late and 80% over budget. The conflict of interest of the education department executives, as their lack of due diligence led to the corruption within the department. The department's lack of adequate risk management to avoid ICT disasters, as it was identified that the department had a weak ICT disaster recovery plan. Lastly, no key performance indicators were defined, and the return of investment measurement was missed throughout the project lifecycle. These governance issues were ultimately identified and documented by the Victorian Auditor General's Office after the failure of the Ultranet project. In the continuation of this presentation, we will explore the possible solutions to the identified issues. The proposed solutions can ensure a stronger ICT governance and a better outcome for future endeavours of the Education Department.
So the solutions to the previous problems that we identified comprised of 4 different governance frameworks for the Department of Education to follow in order to promote best practice ICT governance in their projects. The first of which was the ISO2423 which gives a general overview of how IT governance should be structured, and it follows 6 principles. The first of which is strategy, and it states that there should be a clear benefit for the use of IT within their current systems, as well as a way of ensuring that new technologies can be implemented into the current systems. The second is responsibility, and with all the failed projects which were discussed previously, there was a gray area of accountability where it was not fully clear who was responsible for which parts of the project development cycle. Having defined responsibilities will in turn ensure that activities can be supervised and lower the chance of misconduct. Acquisition refers to how the organization should consider their options for providing IT services when choosing to implement a new system. This includes having the appropriate documentation, as well as making sure that the organization has the capabilities necessary in order to take on the project. The fourth is performance, and a proposal of performance of the new system should be able to describe the climate of the current business process and outline any risks which could arise as a result of implementing the new IT project. The fifth was conformance, and that's just about the organization's compliance with laws and regulations. And the last was human behavior, which talks about the organization's grasp on the implementation of the new technology in making sure that people involved in the project are not intimidated by the onset of change and are well trained for what is to come. The second framework that we included was Val IT, and that gives the guidelines for executive managers to highlight how the organization can continue to achieve business value continuously by analyzing the investment decisions and measuring their return on investment through application portfolio management, or APM. The third framework we used was data governance, which was the model for which to ensure data quality and consistency in order to manage information during the project. And the fourth and last one was risk IT, and that's the framework which identifies the proper precautions for minimizing risk throughout the project's lifespan.
So let's move on to the implementation strategy for that integrated governance framework we just mentioned before. There have three phases covered in these strategies. First one is the preparation and planning. The second one is execution. The third one is the evaluation and improvement. In first section, we're talking about the clear vision statement that for all the stakeholders to understand what is the ultimate destination for this governance framework. This promotes the shared understanding throughout the entire organization. Then we need to identify all the stakeholders using the stakeholder register, and we must assign the responsibilities to each. And most importantly, the due diligence that for the top managers, and we also need to establish a board committee. This includes nomination committees, risk committees, audit committee, ethical committee, remuneration committee. Besides, communication channel is essential. There must have an interconnected communication network for the information sharing throughout the organization. Next, the planning for implementation, initial from the business case, which provides a clear cost and benefit analysis, and incorporates with the break-even analysis, as well as the master budget, data management. The technology roadmap should be established here, which the combination of the proposal technology checklist and assign specific duration and ownership to each. Further, the APM needs to be introduced in this stage. This is for categorize and continuous assess application investment feasibilities through entire development lifecycle. Moreover, the governance plan covers other essential management areas, which including resource management, procurement management, master data management, risk management, and contingency plan for termination. Second, to executing the implementation plan requires most proper education and training for the personnel that involved in the governance process, and also continuously check our testing for whether all the stakeholders that match their responsibilities. The auditing committees continuously monitoring and controls to identify the problems and make the adjustments of the governance within a timely manner. The report must be generated after each activities. In addition, the ethical committees should provide the education for both internal and external shareholders to ensure that everyone will understand what is the desired ethical conduct. And also, it can provide actual discipline for the misconduct. Thirdly, from the monitoring to continuously evaluation and improvement. The measurement frequency must be checked and everything must be set up for the governance at proposed time, such as Monday, which ensure the governance required practice set it up at the start of the week and report at end of the week and continuously repeat. This is the responsibilities to the internal auditing committees, and ultimately this provides a long-term, sustainable, adaptable, and scoreable governance framework. And that's all. Thank you.